I have a choice here. I can demonize one side or the other. And that's what you're expecting, isn't it? That's the narrative you're used to. I can talk about the divisions on this subject that we are continually reminded of. I can talk about the angels and the demons of the border. That's the story that gets more clicks and pushes more outrage. But this isn't that story.
The way I see our country is a country that is divided. Is divided into those that wish that they could. They have to be careful about making sure they're safe, making sure that that we're safe, that that my family's safe, that we are not in harm's way, and so anything outside of us becomes a threat, and becomes something that I'm afraid about. And so that is one America that I see here in the United States, and that it's almost as if they're in this bubble, a bubble that protects them from really caring about anything beyond that, beyond the bubble. And so therefore they keep themselves in this way of living their life, pretty much in a life that excludes a lot of who we truly are in our communities, in our country. There's another part of America that is those that wish they could help everybody, that they could open the doors and receive everyone that needs them. And so I think that they are people who are in touch with themselves, with their God, and they feel that we're called to help everyone, And so I think that those two extremes divides us extremely, and we close ourselves to understand the other. And instead of trying to be one community, one country, we keep ourselves comfortably on those extremes.
The truth is, there are both angels and demons on both sides of the border. Not all immigrants are good people. And some of those working border security have done truly awful things. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something other than the full story. The truth is, the border's a land full of shades of gray.
I think that we are, as a country, can be both. Can be a country that keeps ourselves safe, keep ourselves okay, because we have the ability to make sure that we're safe, and that we can make sure that our borders are secure, and that the people that our law enforcement do their job to keep our community safe. I think that is very important, that we support our law enforcement locally in all different parts of our country, and making sure that those who are criminals, those who are here to harm us, they're not only the ones that are from other countries, there are people here among us that are harming us, that are hurting our own families, our own churches, our own schools. And we must protect ourselves from that criminal element of people who do not respect life and can easily take somebody's life. And so we also are a country that can also open the doors to hear and help that family, the children that are strangers and that are coming to us because they're afraid for their lives. And their only crime, if you want to call it a crime, is their need for survival, their need to be safe, their need to say to their kid that I need to save my child. I need to make sure my child is safe. So I think we have the capacity to do both. We have the capacity to have a heart and to welcome the stranger and to help them, at the same time protect ourselves from anyone who's trying to hurt us.
At the end of the day, almost everyone thinks they're the good guy. No matter where you fall on the political spectrum, I have a hard time believing that anyone's motivation for viewing things a certain way is done out of a desire to make things worse for themselves or anyone else. Mostly, people just want to be left alone to live their own lives. They want to make enough money to pay the bills, keep a roof over their heads, gas in their cars, and keep their families safe. More than that, somewhere at the end of it all, they hope their life will add up to something, that there was a purpose to all of it. And I've never met anyone who begrudges anyone else from wanting the same. But we live in a world where communication technology tends to push ideologies that confirm and reinforce our own views of the world and seldom challenges it when it veers off course. Our computers and our phones are simply telling us what they think we want to hear. And that's a dangerous combination. That's a recipe that turns neighbors into warring tribes competing for resources. That's the narrative that takes a nuanced story and reduces it down to little more than angels and demons. Who is the angel and who is the demon? Well, that mostly depends on which channel you're watching.
So America is a land of a lot of people who recognize the importance of defending life and defending, respecting each other, and hardworking people that have high values, family values, it's a land of immigrants, a land that welcomes everybody because we bring us where we can become one community. And so this is who America is for me. America is a place where everybody wants to come because we show the world that it is possible to live in a land that respects each other, and we can work toward making life in our communities better.
It's easy to discount or demonize the other as long as you're looking at them from a distance. It's a lot harder to do when you're looking at them in the eye. Their humanity seeps through. I don't care if we're talking about a guy from Honduras who just showed up at the border, or a guy in a MAGA hat who just clocked out of work and is wondering if he'll survive the next round of layoffs. Boil them both down, and you'll find men who are worried about their futures and their families. And that is the soil where we can find common ground.